Welcome to Greenville Grit, Greenville residents in touch on 103.7 WTIB. This is the local show that keeps you connected and in touch with the issues that are happening and affect your community. Greenville Grit is sponsored by Ribeyes and Greenville Toyota. Now, here's your host for Greenville Grit, Terry Williams.
Hello and welcome to Greenville Grit. I'm Terry Williams here today with my co-host PJ Conley. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
Doing great. We're taping a little bit early this week, but we want everybody to know what's going on in Greenville. But today we have a really special guest from our Ayden community, Steve Harrell, who is the new Ayden town manager, and we're very glad to have you with us today. We're going to talk to you about everything going on in the Ayden community and how some of the things going on are going to affect us in the Greenville area because we're so close and live so close and everything's so intertwined, and also some activities that are coming up that you might want to be sure that the citizens all around know and would be able to come and visit the Ayden community during all that time. So we'll talk about that pretty soon. Before we do, let's take a minute to thank our sponsors. Greenville Toyota has been with us since the beginning. We so appreciate it. They're family owned and operated for over 25 years. If you're looking for a new or used vehicle, first-time buyer, you need a lease program, or any type of special financing, go to greenvilletoyota.com, or you can call them at 252-321-3000, and they'll be glad to help you with a new or used vehicle. And Ribeyes Steakhouse out on Fire Tower Road. They're so good. Great salad bar. They have steaks, of course, but they also have other things to offer, pork chops and some seafood, I think, even. Big salad bar. They have a room if you want to rent it for a shower, bridal shower, party, office meeting. I'm sure they would love to accommodate you. They also have a location in Williamston. So visit Ribeyes Steakhouse. I'm sure that they would much appreciate that. And Overton Residential Properties, also still a sponsor here. We appreciate it. Thank you, Michael. If you're looking for a new home or you need to put your house on the market, Michelle Connors, Trey Williams, or myself, Terry Williams, will be glad to help you. You can visit us at overtonresidential.com or give us a call at 252-375-8620. We're also in our new location in Uptown Greenville at 401 West 1st Street, so come and visit us anytime. So we will take a break right now and come back and talk with Steve Harrell, Town Manager, Ayden. Welcome back to Greenville Grit. We have a great guest today. We're very excited to have you with us, Steve Harrell, Ayden Town Manager. And we're just going to let you share with the citizens a little bit about yourself and how you ended up here in the Ayden area.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I am a Eastern North Carolinian, originally from Goldsboro.
Right.
I'm an Air Force brat. My dad retired in Goldsboro. Went to school at Western Carolina University. I'm a Catamount. Got to see the Catamounts get pretty stomped at the beginning of the season. Interesting thing, though, is that we're both purple and gold.
Oh, yeah, that's
so
right.
So there was purple and gold on both sides of the stadium. And I do recall, though, that we beat ECU in 1975 when I was a sophomore in college.
Oh, well.
So it goes back a ways.
You have a good memory.
I've been in local government for 32 years now. I was in the last 8 years with the city of Wilmington as a department head, and I oversaw Parks and Recreation and Community Development.
Okay.
But I was a town manager for 22 years in both the Carolinas.
Wow.
And just had the itch to get back into it the last few years of my career, and was fortunate enough to land in Ayden.
Oh, that is great. Well, I know they're very happy to have you.
I'm very happy to be there.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of hearing you speak about the Ayden community at the last Board of Realtors luncheon, and you gave excellent information that I really felt like we needed as people move into the area of what's going on and what's there to look forward to in Ayden. It's like a little gem getting ready to
It's getting
really
ready. It's
pop.
getting ready to blossom.
I know
yes.
it is. So it's very exciting. So that's sort of what I wanted you to be able to tell us about, because people think, well, that's Ayden. This is called the Greenville Grit, but yet everything that happens in the surrounding communities obviously affect Greenville, just like we affect your community. So tell us a little bit about what you all have got going on, and however you want to share it.
Okay. I'll start with the construction currently of Highway 11 Southwest Bypass.
Right.
The construction, as anybody can see, goes down Highway 11 or goes out 264, is well underway. It's going to connect 264 just to the south of Ayden. In fact, the major intersection will be right there at Ayden. If you're familiar with the Food Lion and
Right.
the Bojangles and the McDonald's, you'll be able to literally stand in the Food Lion shopping center. And if you're a good ECU baseball player, you can hit the intersection. We're very excited about that. It's going to put us literally 8 or 9 minutes from the hospital.
Wow.
And as you know, driving here from Ayden, like I did today, you have to plan for a good 25-minute
right.
drive just to get over here. And at rush hour, more than that.
Right.
But this will put us literally right there at the hospital area, connect us to 264. A lot of folks don't realize also that right after they finish 11, the bypass, the area just south of that, 11 as it is now, the next stage is to make it at interstate quality, so it will tie into 70 in Kinston.
Okay.
So we will have an interstate quality highway running from 264 all the way to 70.
Wow.
Now that's going to take a good 10 years to get
Right.
there. However, the bypass itself is on schedule according to DOT. It's due to open August 2019. So it's it's a little over
far.
2.5 years, less than 2.5 years away. So we're very excited about it. It's going to create an opportunity for folks to come and live in Ayden and work in Greenville and have a easier access to get
Right.
there. We're particularly interested in folks who are working for the hospital and hospital campus. A lot of millennials, a lot of folks going to want to be looking for an opportunity to live and raise their families. And Ayden is, of course, the family-friendly city, or family-friendly town. Excuse me.
That's right. That's right. That is great. And your schools are just always, people have always raved about your the Ayden schools. So that should be just an added plus for those families wanting to come in.
It will. We have, of course, we have our elementary school, middle school, and Ayden-Grifton High School.
That's right.
All three of our principals in 2016 were nominees for Principals of the Year.
Exactly.
So we're very excited about our school system. The elementary school in particular did a fantastic job after Hurricane Matthew of being a center for folks to come and eat, a center where we collected material and food for
Right.
the shelter, which was at the Ayden Middle School. We also put together things that we sent over to the town of Grifton, which was badly
Right.
flooded during
Yes.
that time period.
Exactly. Well, I'm sure that this would interest PJ too about the businesses that's anticipating coming around that. Is it called an interchange where you will, what will they actually term there by the food line? Just an intersection?
Well, it'll be an interchange.
Interchange,
It will be an interstate quality interchange. There are several large pieces of property in that area. We already have heard some signs about a hotel locating there.
that.
And you can see why someone would want a hotel there. You're 8 minutes from the hospital, opportunity to have a hotel stay there if you're visiting somebody who might be in the hospital. In addition to that, hotels always bring restaurants.
Right.
Who knows? We might get a Sheets. That's one of the things that we've heard. So that spillover effect will help our downtown as well.
Right.
It'll help 'cause folks are going to get up, Saturday morning and say, "What do? Come downtown Ayden," and we have a revitalization effort going on in our downtown right now that we're excited about.
That's right.
Yeah, your community, I'll tell you what, it's neat how close you are to Greenville and how close you are to Winterville. And, this connectivity thing that we're seeing, throughout our community with the Southwest Bypass coming there, we have a tremendous amount of land. And, you hit on a point that I think was really important is that, we want people to stay here, and we want businesses to locate along the 264 bypass, and the key thing that we have to do is we need to be able to provide jobs for them. And before we got on here, I was asking you a little bit about the, I guess it's you can express, I call it the processing plant because I think that's what they keep calling it in the paper, but maybe you can give us a little bit more details on that. I know you said that they're not going to be jobs that will be, I guess, physically in Ayden, but it's connected to this process.
We have what's known as a food commercialization center that we're pursuing right now. We hope to get a grant from the Federal Economic Development Administration, and we've already gotten pre-approval to put a grant together in the summer of this year. The Food Commercialization Center will be a 24,000 square foot building located in our industrial park. The purpose of the commercialization center is to provide a packaging operation for some of the major food producers in our area, bottling, canning, boxing, and distribute those to the market. Not many people are aware that Eastern North Carolina farmers and food producers actually go out of state to be able to find canning operations, boxing operations, bottling operations, and this is what we're going to provide with our Food Commercialization Center. We have a lot of support. We're fortunate enough to get a $100,000 grant with Representative. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Nancy from Wilson. I'm just pulling a blank here.
Yeah, I know Susan Martin, but
Susan
Martin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Representative
That's
Susan
right, no
Martin
problem.
from Wilson
Right.
was able to get us a $100,000 grant
Right.
last summer that we're using, and we've hired a business consultant who's doing a pro forma analysis for us for the Food Commercialization Center. We're very close to putting that together. We will be looking for assistance financially from the General Assembly.
Right.
We also will be looking for assistance from the Golden Leaf Foundation, which has a tremendous interest in this particular facility. The facility is also going to have a section of it's going to be dedicated to entrepreneurs, to folks who are doing things like bottling salsa or some other type of jar, some other type of product like
Right.
that. And we'll provide space for that. We also are going to be a space for interns and graduate students from ECU and North Carolina State University. And there'll be tangentially lots of jobs will be generated by the Food
Right.
Commercialization Center. We will have a section of the Food Commercialization Center will also be dedicated to a major what we call an anchor store, anchor operation, and we're in conversation with some folks about that as well. We're very excited about it.
Sounds great.
It will bring, it will help farmers and the agricultural industry in Eastern North Carolina, which we all know is the basis of Eastern North
Right.
Carolina. And as the mayor says, Mayor Steve Tripp, on a regular basis, Ayden is the center.
Right.
When you look at the counties around that are going to be benefiting from that and look at the location, that's where Ayden's at. And now we're going to be where the bypass is, connecting us to 264, connecting us to 70. We're less than 2 hours from the major port in Wilmington.
Right.
So the Food Commercialization Center will be a major boom to the town of Ayden, and we're very excited about it.
Sounds great, because that will encourage, I'm sure, more development.
Sure.
And that's what you want.
They encourage much more development as well. I'd like to talk about our revitalization of our downtown, too.
Okay.
We have a Main Street program. Main Street program is a national program that is geared towards communities of 35,000 population or less. Our current Main Street program in North Carolina is housed with the North Carolina Department of Commerce. We were a small town program. We are now a Main Street program. We have a committee composed of community citizens, businesses in our downtown, and we are looking to develop and revitalize our downtown. The idea of Main Street is to bring back the downtowns that we all
Right.
remember, or at least some of us remember as children.
PJ probably doesn't
they
remember,
probably
but I
don't.
do.
So, I do too. And we're excited about it. We do have some prospects that are looking at some buildings in
Right.
our downtown. One of the things that we're excited about doing as well is using our second stories as residential.
Yeah.
There's a lot of millennials out there who could be working at the hospital,
Right.
zip down the road 8 minutes and stay in our downtown in a nice apartment or a nice condominium. So, and those are built-in customers for retail on the ground
Right.
floor. So
Exactly.
we're excited about doing that. So we also will begin this summer with activities that our Main Street Committee will put on. We are already talking about 2 beach music shag
Okay.
festivals or concerts, one in June and one in August. So if you shag, I shag.
Yeah.
You come to Dayton and have a good
come
time.
watch even if you don't shag.
Yes, right. Even if you don't shag, we're going to offer shag lessons at those two
That's really
events.
neat. That's
And we're looking
fun.
at other events where we're talking about a jazz festival. We're talking about arts and crafts. So we're very excited about this summer. Is the first summer that
Right.
our Main Street program is really kicking off.
That sounds really good. But you already have a great community theater, is that not correct?
We have a tremendous community
Yeah,
theater. It's
I hear about
located
it.
at our Arts and Recreation Building. We had Smiles and Frowns is a local youth
Right.
group that's been there for, I believe, 20 years now.
That's right.
And this past Saturday I went, was Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
And the kids did a fabulous
Oh,
job.
that's neat.
And that is at the auditorium at this is the old Aden High School. It's got 800 seats. When I first got here as the town manager, I went and toured the building, and I walked into that auditorium. First of all, it took me back to my elementary days. But it immediately, when I looked and saw that it is a performing arts theater,
Right.
and we need to do something with that, making it more of a regional type of theater. A lot of folks are not even aware that it's located there. The folks in the Aden area in southern Pitt County pretty much know, but we need to get out there and make sure that that facility is used that way. A new elevator's been put in. We've redone the parking lot, so the old high school's coming around. We have Pilates and Zumba. We have a senior center with all kinds of exercise
Right.
equipment. We've even added a plasma television
Oh,
set
wow.
to it, so we're
That's
moving
great.
right along.
Yeah.
Good.
Our arts and recreation program has 1,500 kids.
That's
That's
what
in
I
a
heard.
community
Yeah.
of 5,000.
Wow.
That blew me away when I got
Right.
there. I was
Wow.
like, this is really great. Tommy Duncan is our arts and recreation director, does an outstanding job. We have 300 students, 300 kids participating in football, softball, soccer, basketball. We have another 300 kids participating in our summer camps. We do summer camps that are art-driven, summer camps that are crafts-driven. We're very excited about that. And we have a 50-acre district park that some may not be aware
Right.
of, that is located right to the north of town. It is a town of Aden facility. We have a splash pad for kids, and it's geared towards the young children
Right.
from ages like 3 to 7 or 8. It's got all kinds of animals that shoot out water,
Right.
giraffes and
I
whatever.
did not know you all had that until you spoke to our group.
It's
I don't
amazing
know
that
that either.
I did
it's
not know.
amazing that folks don't know that.
Yeah.
When I first got here, I went to the coffee shack that is closed, but it's
Right.
getting ready to
Oh,
reopen
that
with
would
a
be
new
good.
name, which is great.
Okay.
I'm a big coffee
Yeah,
person.
me too.
And I was sitting there, and it was like June 22nd, my first night in Aden, and I saw two gentlemen sitting there talking. So they struck up a conversation with me, and one of them mentioned that he lived on Fire Tower Road, and his grandchildren were visiting. I asked him how old were his grandchildren. He said something like 3 and 4, and he says, trying to figure out what to do. And I said, well, bring him to the splash pad at the district park in Aden. And he says, splash pad?
I know.
And so we're going to really market that this summer. We do have a lot of folks who come.
Yeah.
I mean, it is very crowded, but it is a wonderful facility. We have 2 football fields. We have a multi-use trail. We are looking at expanding. We're going to do a fundraiser through a foundation, the District Park Foundation. And we're going to be adding 4 baseball fields.
Oh, that's
We're
awesome.
going to add an outdoor entertainment venue for with 300 seats, and we're going to expand our multi-use trail to go around that entire park. And we have an 18-hole frisbee golf
Oh, wow.
park there as well. 18 holes.
Wow.
We're looking to add also the multi-use trail to run all the way back to Aden to connect with Veterans Park, which, by the way, Veterans Park, and I'll hit that as well, has an all-inclusive playground. It was just opened in October. We beat Greenville to it. We built the first one, and it is geared for children, whether they're disabled or
Right,
not.
right.
And that playground is packed with families
That's
every
awesome.
weekend. This past Saturday, it was wonderful
Oh, I
to
bet.
see.
The weather was so good.
It was
so-
tremendous.
Yes, that is really exciting to hear. You may have a lot more people coming over in the next
We would
few
love for
weeks
folks to
from
come,
the Greenville and
absolutely.
Winterville area or everywhere really that can hear that, and that's exciting for you all.
We have 2 festivals.
That's right. I
We
was
have
going to
a-
ask you to mention that.
Yeah, we have the Barbecue Festival. Second annual will be the May 20th. It's the weekend before Memorial Day.
Okay.
We have the Collard Festival, which everybody knows
Right.
about, just about. So 20 years now, I believe. It's the weekend after Labor Day. So as the mayor says, we have the shoulders of the summer on each
Yeah,
end.
that's right.
Here's an interesting piece about this year's Barbecue Festival. This year's the same weekend in Aden. The Shriners is bringing their statewide parade. First time it's been in Aden since 2009. We are expecting a crowd of 15,000 people
That's
that weekend
awesome.
to come to Aden. We're going to have live entertainment, both nights. Bands on our stage down by the railroad tracks in the center of town.
Right.
At the Collard Festival, there will be entertainment both nights. There will be a parade. And also the Band of Oz will be there Saturday night, so you can shag again.
A lot of shagging going on today.
Well, that's
So
okay.
we're very excited about the coming year.
It does. It just sounds wonderful. I'm really glad to hear everything that is going on, because I do believe that you're right. As more and more information gets out about the bypass, I think that people will start looking for homes in that area. I think you're going to see Ayden really take off with some new neighborhoods and different things going on, which I think is going to be great.
We're expecting that, and we're preparing ourselves for it.
That's right. It sounds like you are.
It's neat too, because I mean, you've got to remember that as you guys succeed, we all succeed, because you know it goes both ways. You know, people from Ayden are going to come to Greenville, and
That's
people
right.
from Greenville are going to come to Ayden, and we both win in that situation. You know, and
Absolutely.
it's important. And I say this to our economic development department all the time at the city of Greenville, is that, you know, just because we may not have a fit here in Greenville, maybe we don't have the land, maybe we just don't have the facilities that are available. It's good for us to get out there and talk to, you know, the Pitt County Development Department. It's important to come talk to Ayden, Grifton. You know, we all win no matter what. I came from Beloit, Wisconsin, which was 15 minutes away from Janesville, Wisconsin. At one time, they were one of the largest makers of the Tahoe. And when we had that facility open up in Janesville, Wisconsin, it brought all these different companies with us. And I mean, it just Janesville, Wisconsin just boomed like crazy. And like everything else, you know, things have to come to an end. And when they started scaling back, you know, we all suffered. But my whole point of that is that, you know, just because you get one business there, you're going to see other ones that are going to see how successful that business is, and it's going to help out both communities. It's going to help out Ayden. It's going to help out Greenville. It's going to help out Winterville. So I'm really excited to sit here and listen to all the things that you've been saying. My blood's been pumping, you know, since this, because I'm thinking how exciting it is of all the neat things that are going on in Ayden. So I really appreciate you coming on and telling us that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to take a quick break and get back and wrap up our conversation with you about all things happening in Ayden.
Great.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to our show. I have been absolutely blown away by the amount of information that you shared with us and everything that's going on in the Ayden community. It's going to have such a huge impact, like PJ and I were just talking with you during the break, in other communities, I believe. So anything else that you might like to share with us? We've got a couple of minutes left that you just might want to mention. Anything else that we should know about? I was in Ayden last week, rode all through the uptown area. The architecture on some of those buildings is really remarkable. Beautiful place.
Our central business district is a lot of very nice historic buildings. And that's part of the focus of the Main Street program as well,
Right.
is to take advantage of the historic buildings, to rehab them back to their original historic nature. And we're looking at that and making sure that we've got the things in place to make that
Right.
happen. It is a designated on the Historic National Register. It provides historic tax credits for folks who want to develop those buildings. And that's what's going to bring the character back to our downtown.
Right.
It'll make our downtown a destination. And once it becomes that destination, folks will be coming and taking a look.
I know. I think, did you guys recently have like a fire? I think it was in the uptown area over there.
Yeah, unfortunately we did. We had a building catch on fire a couple of Sundays ago, and it pretty much gutted the inside of the building. But this building is one of those historic buildings. We are talking with the Middies Commission to look at some grant dollars to do something about bringing that building back.
Right.
We're committed to doing something
Sounds
about
like
saving that building as opposed to tearing it down. Because
Right.
the building's brick, the interior was destroyed, but with a nice brick building like that, you can do something about it. And we're talking to the Middies Commission about grant
good.
opportunities.
And the reason I brought that up too is it was more or less, I remember reading in the paper, and I think they interviewed the owner of the property, and the neat thing is I think the response was, we're going to bring it back and we're going to make it better than it was before, which shows you that you've got people in the community that have bought into
That's
the same
right.
vision that you have, which is great.
The owners, the Cannons, are determined to get it back as well.
Yeah.
It really sounds good. Well, just real quickly, because we don't have much more time, but there are some places. I know we talked about different places you can eat and visit out near where the bypass is going to come, but you all have some things to offer right in Aden already. We're not waiting for certain things
Oh,
to
of
come.
course
We have
not.
restaurants. I know you got a cookie place or cupcakes or something.
We have Gwendolyn's Goodies.
That's right.
We also have Bum's Restaurant.
That's
We're
right.
And then we have the Skylight. So we are the barbecue capital of the world, as you know. Both of those restaurants are great restaurants. The Gwendolyn's Goodies,
Right.
or Gwendy's Goodies, I should
Right.
say. She does a tremendous job with baked goods, coffee, and she's recently started doing quiche. If you're into
Oh,
quiche.
wow, that sounds great.
so
Well,
that was-
I've been in her place before, and
Yes.
it's really good. But well, we want to wrap things up. We so appreciate you spending time with us today. You can join us again on Friday nights at 6:30, Saturday mornings at 9:30, and hear all of this information again, and take notes, and then go visit the area because you
Come
have
see
so
us.
much to offer, and it's very friendly. We appreciate our sponsors, Greenville Toyota, Ribeye Steakhouse, Overton Residential Properties, and we will see you next week.